Well, raising kiddos in a digital age, a tough society is harder than ever. As a mom of 2 young girls, I ask myself all the time, am I doing this right? Well, this morning we brought in a dynamic, powerful group of ladies that are all moms and are all in the joyous struggle of parenting. We've got Sarah Lenti, Diane Miles, and Sangeeta Singh. Welcome to the show. It's so good to have you guys.
Thank you. Here.
Anytime I've got a group of moms, I'm like, okay, okay. It's such a hard job, right? And I feel like it's just gotten harder. Okay, let's start with the first question that we're gonna tackle on this morning, ladies. Well, I don't know if you guys have seen, but several states are banning TikTok. What is your take on this app, and are your kiddos allowed to use it? Sarah, I'll start with you.
They are not. They are, I find them on YouTube all the time. I don't have TikTok on my phone, so as a result, they're not using it. However, if Instagram's open, they're all over it. It's YouTube, Instagram. What I've found, though, is they have somehow been able to find TikTok on the web, but it's not something that I want them watching on a regular basis. I've read that most kids are on TikTok for 107 minutes a day.
That's horrible.
Which is a lot.
Yeah, your kids are older, Diane, but what is your take on TikTok? And I mean, I've seen some of the stuff on there, and it's pretty alarming.
Yeah. So I have adults.
Yes.
Which changes the game a little bit because I can't tell them, no, you can't do this.
Exactly.
I mean, I try still, but that's not real in our world. I think, right, like with anything, it has its good and its bad. I think there's some really cool ideas that are out there and experiments that you could do. We don't promote that as much in America as the dancing and all of the other stuff that they're seeing on TikTok. So I wish we would promote like them tapping into their creative and like experimenting with science and like math problems and like all the things that we could really do with TikTok.
Yeah.
But I can't stop my kids from being on TikTok because they're adults and they both love TikTok.
They do, right? Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where I've got the 14-year-old. As much as I try, Sarah, to back you up, as much as I try to tell her you're not going to use TikTok because I've seen the stuff that happens on TikTok and these challenges that are dangerous, she still has access to it through YouTube. Now there's this thing called YouTube Shorts, and I'm like, wait a minute, or she'll slip and say, oh, I saw that on TikTok, and I'm like, what? So, you know, it's hard. But Sangeeta, you are the mom of a 7-year-old.
I am.
And you work with a lot of children as a psychologist.
I do.
What's your take?
So, personally, my daughter has older cousins, so she's been exposed to TikTok.
Yep.
And I allow it under my supervision because she's a creative, she loves art, she loves science, she loves animals, so we'll sit together and we'll watch animal videos, we'll watch science experiments, but it's only under my supervision, it's on my phone, so she doesn't have access to it unless I'm sitting next to her. But I do have a number of kiddos that I work with professionally where parents come in and say, hey, I looked at my kiddos' screen time and they were on TikTok for 8 hours. How do I deal with this?
Yeah.
And some of it is isolation. Some of it is I'm struggling so much at school that I need an escape. Some of it is depression, some of it's anxiety. So I find that a lot of the kids that I work with are using it as a mental health tool, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Does your daughter have a phone?
She does not.
She doesn't?
No.
Interesting. Okay.
I always say because it's so much easier to regulate when they don't have their own phone. My kid, obviously, but my adults, they're not kids. They both have their own phones. But I grew up like my mom. She was a helicopter parent.
Oh boy.
And so she, you know, back then though, she could pick up the phone and listen to my conversations.
Exactly.
Know all of my business. And now, right, like that's not real. We don't have cords in our house anymore like that. But raising my children, I always led with, if you want to do it, you're going to figure out how to do it. And there's nothing I could do to stop you from doing it. I just want to know that you're doing it so we can kind of, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough world. I don't know what to do.
I mean, I have one parent who put all these parental controls on his daughter's phone, and then she tells me, hey, I found a way to bypass it on my iPad.
Listen.
Oh my God, who are these kids?
If YouTube will teach you anything you need to know, These kids have, I mean, they're overly informed.
No, they are.
And the information they have access to.
And it's interesting because it's TikTok today. 5 years ago, it was YouTube, and people, they would get in a spiral, and they'd go from one video to another, and people were saying that it was satanic, and then there were these messages coming through, and babies as demons, and I can remember, you know, when I was young, my parents, I was only allowed to watch 1 hour of TV, because at that point, TV was the enemy, and then rock music was the enemy in our house, because if you played it backwards, it was, I love the devil, I love the devil. But to your point, Sangita, I think everything has to be monitored. It's like watching movies with them. I'm okay to sit and watch a PG-13 movie with my 7-year-olds if I'm in the room with them and we're talking about it. To your, so to your point, so that it's almost like, you know, if you're doing it together, the stigma is off of it, and it's no longer this, oh, I can't do it, and so I want to do it more.
Right, and that's so true with kids as well.
Yeah.
But here we are. This is the Moms Panel, everyone. If you have any questions for us, you can join the conversation by sending us an email, mycoco@9news.com. We'd love to hear from you. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank
we could be
you
here for hours.
So,
Absolutely. All right, we'll see you next time.